Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have had a lot of questions about the simple interest assignment, so I thought I'd just do a little video to walk you through a couple examples, and then if you still had questions, you can contact me. So we are going to do the simple interest assignment. So let's start up here with words to remember. So let's remember that interest is the amount of money that you pay to borrow money or the amount of money that you earn on a deposit. So interest can work for you or it can work against you. It can be money that you owe or money that is owed to you. We are going to be using the annual interest rate today. That's the percentage of interest that you pay for money borrowed or earn for money deposited. Now that interest rate is for annual, which is a year. So we have to bring everything back to a yearly unit. So simple interest formula is I, which is interest, and it equals PRT. So I is the interest earned, P is the principal or the amount of money you start out with, R is the annual interest rate as a decimal. So we're either going to use our percentage sign in the calculator or we're going to move that decimal 2 places to the left. And T is the time in years. Balance we'll get to in just a second. So remember I told you we're using the annual interest rate. We have to bring everything back to a year. So if they give us T variable in time of a year, then we're great. We can just move on. But if they give that to us in months, we have to calculate that as a year. So let's use this example here. For example, if they give us 8 months, we know we have to divide that by 12. So I'm going to do that over here on the side of my calculator. So 8 divided by 12 is going to give me a fraction of the year, 0.6 repeating. So I rounded that up to 0.67. However you'd like to do that if you get a repeating number. So go ahead and calculate 4 months, 6 months, 21 months, and 32 months, simply just dividing by 12. That way, if we come across an example that is monthly, we know to divide by 12 before we continue on. All right, so let's start with example 1 in computing simple interest earned. So again, if we put money into an account and we're being paid interest for keeping that money in an account, how much interest are we earning? So let's start with this example. Diana deposits $725 into a savings account that pays 2.3% simple annual interest. How much interest will Diana earn after 18 months? Now, the first thing, remember, I'm going to clear my calculator, is we need to know how much this is in years because T has to be in years since it's an annual interest rate. So I'm going to take that 18 in my calculator, I'm going to divide it by 12 months, and I know that 18 months is 1.5 years. So when I get to that T variable, I'm going to use 1.5. So I is equal to PRT. So let's simply start multiplying out our variables. P is going to be our principal at $725, the amount that Diana put into the savings account. I'm going to multiply it by R, which is my simple annual interest. So I'm going to put 2.3 and make sure to hit that percent sign because notice it moves that decimal 2 to the left, 0.023 for me, or you can move the decimal on your own. And last but not least, we're going to multiply by T, which is time. We calculated multiplied by 1.5 years. So notice here, I get the answer of $25.01 in interest. Now, this number right here is going to determine whether I round that penny up or whether I round that penny down. Anything less than 5, so 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, I'm going to keep it at a penny. Anything 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, I'm going to round that up. So just remember that you can't have, we're looking at money here, so you've got to have it to the nearest penny. So you're going to use that formula to compute simple interest earned for 5 through number 12 here. And then let's look at example number 2, computing simple interest paid. So this is money you've borrowed and you have to pay that money back plus interest. So it's calculated using the same formula, but remember this is money that you owe. So I'm going to clear the calculator and let's look at example number 2. Josh borrowed $250 from his mother to buy an electric scooter. Josh will pay her back in 1 year with 3% simple annual interest. How much interest will Josh pay? So it's already in years, so we don't have to do anything there. So we're simply going to work through our equation I equals PRT. So principal, Josh borrowed $250 from his mom, so we'll start with that. We're going to multiply times the rate of 3%, so 3% or 0.03, and then multiplied simply by 1 year's time. Now, we know that would be the exact same amount, but I'm just going to multiply it out. So that would be $7.50. So Josh has to pay his mom back $250, but in addition to that, $7.50 in interest for borrowing that money for a year. So it's not a lot. It's a mom rate, I would call it, but at least she's teaching Josh that he has to pay interest back on any money that he borrows. So you're going to use that exact same equation to compute simple interest paid for 13 through 20. We're going to scroll down to this last section here, and that is simply just the balance. Some people say, well, I don't want to know how much I owe or how much I've gotten in interest. I want to know the balance. How much do I owe overall, or how much is in my account overall? So we're going to look at the balance equation here, and it is simply the equation that we've seen before, adding the principal back in. So balance is when an account earns interest. The interest is added to the money in the account. The balance A of an account that earns simple annual interest is the sum of the principal P and the interest PRT. So again, we're just going to do exactly what we did before, adding the principal back in. So A is going to be our balance variable, is equal to P, principal, plus PRT. So we're going to find that interest and add principal simply back in. So let's look here at example number 3. You deposit $300 in a savings account that pays 4% simple annual interest. Find your account balance after 9 months. So 9 months is not in yearly terms, so I'm going to take 9 and divide that out by 12, and I'm going to get 0.75. So when we get to the t variable, the time variable, we need to multiply by 0.75. So let's get started here, PRT. So it looks like we have deposited a principal of $300. So $300 is our P. We're going to multiply that by a rate of 4%. So remember, move that decimal place 2 to the left, or simply hit that percentage sign, so 0.04, and then we're going to multiply by the 0.75 that we calculated time in years. So that means over 9 months, we are going to earn $9 in interest on this account. But remember, we want to find the balance. So we found the PRT so far. We want to go back in and add the principal. So we're going to add our beginning balance of $300 to bring us to an ending balance of $309. The $300 we put in plus the $9 in interest we earned. After 9 months, that would be our entire account balance. So you're going to use A equals P plus PRT to calculate 21 through 26. This last one here, we'll call it number 27, is just simply a vocabulary review. If you have any problems answering these fill in the blanks down here, just scroll up here to the top and look at what we read at the very beginning, and that should help you out. We're going to move on. This is Monday and Tuesday's assignment. We're going to move on to compound interest, which builds off of simple interest. So please make sure you get a really good understanding of this. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we will do a compound interest assignment. I'll do another little short video. And then Friday, I'll give you a catch-up day before our official spring break begins. Hope everybody's being good, being safe, and I miss you guys so much. Have a great day.